Kettlebell training, especially the kettlebell swing, can be a great addition to your Taekwondo training. Hello, I'm Jay Armstrong and welcome to the Movement Pro. Kettlebells can be used to increase your upper body strength. I had been practicing Taekwondo now for nearly 40 years. And I realized very early on in my Taekwondo practice that I was getting a lot of good training in mobility, range of motion in all my joints, but I was getting extremely strong legs from kicking, jumping, running, but I was not getting any upper body strength development, and I felt like I missed that. So I began to supplement my training with free weights, trips to the gym, so that I could maintain upper body strength. Besides that, I wanted to look good. What I found out was I didn't know too much about training with free weights, so I looked to the experts in the only field that I knew, and that was bodybuilding. So I ate a lot, I lifted heavy weights, I lifted to failure, and the goal was to get bigger and stronger. And I did those things. I put on weight, I got bigger muscles, and I got compliments that said, "Oh, you're looking really good." But the problem was that I never really felt that good. I felt strong, but I also felt sluggish, like I wasn't quick. And I felt on some level that it interfered with my Taekwondo practice. I didn't realize at the time that there was a difference between hypertrophy, or getting bigger muscles, and getting stronger. We do need to challenge our body so that we maintain bone density and we have strong muscles. But if you look at people like gymnasts or rock climbers, these are people who have incredible strength, but they are not really bulky. And the reason for this is that we have a lot more potential for developing power or strength using our muscles than we actually realize. And if the importance is to have strength, we want to focus on that. And largely that strength component of our upper body is going to be determined by the ability of the brain to fire the neurons to cause the muscles to contract. And yeah, it is somewhat related to the size of the muscle, but less so than you might think. You can be incredibly strong without being bulky. Kettlebells, if used correctly, can be an excellent addition to your martial arts training to help you put on additional strength without adding bulk that might slow you down. Now, I'm not the first martial artist to use kettlebells to enhance their martial arts training. In fact, when I first met Pavel Tsatsouline, who provided kettlebell instruction to me, I found that most of the people that were the first adopters of the system were martial artists. In fact, although I don't know exactly what he did with them, I've seen photos of Bruce Lee working out with kettlebells. A wonderful and unexpected and pleasant side effect of regular practice with the kettlebell swing quickly made itself apparent to me. When you're swinging a heavy kettlebell, it is always trying to rip your arm off. Over time, your body slowly adapts to this new activity. Some of this adaptation takes place in the joint structures of the hand, wrist, elbow, shoulder, and other body parts. The result is that these joints become stronger and better connected. So when you throw punches, more power is actually imparted to the target and less comes back to you. And there's less force that does damage to the joints, and ultimately it causes less pain. You can punch harder. What's preventing you? If you extend your arm forcefully and too quickly, this is accomplished by the contraction of the triceps, you can hyperextend your elbow So this is one of the limiting factors in how fast and how hard you can punch. The thing that determines how fast you can put your arm out safely is whether or not you can pull your arm back. That doesn't seem intuitive, but it's true that this pulling motion that is constantly at work when you're swinging a kettlebell is making this whole structure better, stronger, and more resilient for punching. When does this happen primarily? It happens at the bottom of the kettlebell swing. At the top of the swing, the kettlebell exerts very little force on your arm. But as the kettlebell falls behind you, it's a completely different story. As a 53-pound kettlebell falls from chest height and you catch it behind you, the effective force is much greater than 53 pounds. In addition, you must exert significant force to pull on the kettlebell and change the direction of it. And once again, stand erect and put the kettlebell in front of your chest. Another excellent skill promoted by the kettlebell swing is that of the tense, relaxed cycling. And this is an essential skill of almost every athletic endeavor, from hitting a tennis ball, golf ball, baseball, is that if you look at high-level athletes whom you admire, you will almost always characterize their performance as easy, fluid, and without tension. But it's just not true. When someone hits a golf ball or a baseball very, very hard, there's a lot of tension that happens right at impact. So the thing that we want to be able to master is the ability to turn on that tension when we need it and then turn it off when we're not. Especially in the martial arts community, you're in a fight. You're going to want to kick hard and punch hard, but the last thing you want to do is be tense for the duration of the fight, because that's just going to tire you out. High-level athletes have the ability to contract very, very quickly and then turn that off. One of the things that happens in the kettlebell swing is we work to minimize the amount of time that we have tension. As the kettlebell falls and it passes behind the knees, we need to brace the body to absorb that load. We're going to minimize that period of time. And then as the kettlebell comes up to the top, we're going to be in an erect postural position, and we're going to tense the body in this sort of plank position. Again, we want to make that as short as possible. So we catch the kettlebell and pull on it, and then a period of semi-relaxation as the kettlebell reaches the top of the kettlebell swing, where we're going to once again assume a rigid plank position, and then we'll repeat that. So you're practicing this contraction, relaxation, contraction skill that will transfer very well over to the activities of the sport of Taekwondo. If you've spent any time at all with me, then you know that one of the most important things to me in any training is whether or not we get postural correction out of that training, because this is the biggest problem we face in the 21st century. When you practice the kettlebell swing, at the top you must actively contract the glute muscles or the butt muscles to tuck the pelvis under. At the same time, you must contract the abdominal muscles to end up in this vertical plank position. And we must also learn how to pull these shoulders back and down to keep from allowing the kettlebell to pull our arm off. So this forward shoulder position is one of the big movement dysfunctions that is created by the time we spend in the seated position. So you get a lot of corrective exercises for poor posture just from swinging the kettlebell, as well as getting improved endurance and stronger legs and the improvement that you get to your bone density. Now, you may think that I'm going on and on about the kettlebell swing as though it was the best exercise you could possibly do. And, well, it is one of the very best exercises you could do. If you're a kettlebell fan or you'd like to know more about the kettlebell swing, I will be hosting a hardstyle kettlebell certification at John Haley's Unbreakable Fitness in Forest Park, Illinois on March 14th. You can learn more about that at the dragondoor.com website or at themovementpro.com. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.